Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawikanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Martin Asiedu-Date. Here are the headlines for this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
President Akufo Addo speaks on party's presidential primary and insists he is not backing Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to succeed him.
Also tonight, 2 more suspects arrested over Cecilia Dape's residence theft case, increasing the total number to 7.
Standoff between tricycle operators and city authorities in Kumasi intensified.
It's unlawful, but you say for Quina, Abia, Yebeti Yanka, a man Pifona, or Muasoro, I say, your message I say.
Also tonight, wall collapse leaves 1 dead and another critically injured, a warning to pay more attention to structures.
Later in business, the Bank of Ghana to seek recapitalization after a successful IMF program.
On the international front, Niger power blackout blamed on coup sanctions.
We have details of all these stories and more, and be a part of the show. Let's hear from you on your thoughts on the many stories we have for you tonight.
The news now in detail, and 2 more suspects have been picked up in connection with the theft of monies and valuable items from the home of former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapa. Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP Emmanuel Nyamiche told the court the 5 accused persons could not show up in court because police investigators had traveled to Tamale where the arrests were made. Lord Iduasari reports.
Nyamiche further told the court that the Attorney General had hinted that his office would take over the case and hence prayed for adjournment for them to put their house in order. Presiding Judge Ifya Owusua Apia granted the adjournment and fixed August 8 for the parties to reappear. Counsel for the accused persons, Augustine Jemfi, expressed displeasure at the action by the Attorney General.
If the AG is desirous and respects the judicial processes, they should have come to court today to tell the court that we want to take up the matter. However, certain so are not in place. Therefore, we need 1 or 2 weeks to be able to take up the matter. You don't sit in your office and you instruct a police prosecutor to tell the court that you want to take. No, some of this, we see it as some of these gimmicks to deny people of the justice that they need. You know, this matter, there are so many strengths here and there, and we know it is one of those tactics employed to keep the people in cells.
18-year-old Patience Butchie and 30-year-old Sarah J have been charged with conspiracy to commit crime and 5 counts of stealing, while 3 others, Benjamin Soa, Kweku Butchie and Malik Dauda, have been charged with dishonestly receiving the alleged stolen monies. The 2 lead suspects are alleged to have stolen personal effects belonging to Cecilia Dapa, including assorted clothes valued at 95,000 Ghana cedis, handbags, perfumes, and jewelry worth $95,000. Patience is also accused of stealing 6 pieces of kente cloth worth 90,000 cedis and 6 sets of men's shoes valued at $3,000, which belongs to Daniel Akufo, the former minister's husband. Lord Iduasari, TV3 News, Accra.
And still on the same subject, the Attorney General says the source of funds stolen from the home of former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapa must be investigated for possible money laundering. The Attorney General has directed the Ghana Police Service to independently verify the owners of all the missing funds. Noble Crosby Annan has been studying the AG's document.
The office of the Attorney General is unhappy that even though the monetary value of this case exceeded 500,000 cedis, the charge statements from the accused persons had been taken while subsequently arraigning them for various offences without recourse to the office. According to the AG, Patience Butchie, the first accused, confessed to stealing money from the complainant's room on multiple occasions, and the second accused, Sarah J., denied stealing money but was found with significant amounts of money and suspicious property acquisitions. The Attorney General, while referring to charges against the accused persons, suggests that charges of conspiracy to steal and stealing can be sustained against Patience Butcher and Sarah J. for the amounts of money they were proving to have stolen. However, the evidence in the docket is insufficient to support charges of dishonestly appropriating assorted handbags, clothing, and jewelry belonging to the complainant against Patience Butchie and Sarah J., the first and second accused. The charges of dishonest receipt leveled against Benjamin Soa, the third accused, and Kweku Butchie, the fourth accused, are doubtful, as there is no convincing evidence that they knew the money they received was stolen. The advice highlights the need for further investigations to ascertain the ownership of the stolen money, including $800,000, $200,000 and 300,000 euros, to avoid duplicity in the charges. Meanwhile, there are suspicions of money laundering and financial crimes, and the complainant's financial activities also should be investigated. Overall, the AG's advice emphasizes the need for comprehensive investigations before proceeding with the charges against the accused individuals and advises the police to comply with these directives. The charges against the accused will require solid evidence to ensure a fair and just trial. As this complex case unfolds, we will keep you updated.
In more news tonight, one person has been confirmed dead and another in critical condition after a wall collapsed on them at a construction site at Ofanko Barrier near Accra. Godwin Asidiba reports. And one person has been confirmed dead and another person is in critical condition after a wall collapsed on them at a construction site.
It's Wednesday, August 2, 2023. Around the late hours of Wednesday, a rather unfortunate incident happened again regarding a building collapsing on workers around the Ofanko North area, where I am at the moment. We have been told that the three people who were working on this side had two of them stuck at this particular hole where a team from the Ghana National Fire Service actually came in to conduct an exercise. We were told by a team from the PR department that the person who has been pronounced dead was actually retrieved from this portion of the drainage system, and the other person too, who was on the other side, was also retrieved safely and has actually been rushed to the hospital for urgent treatment. Now, when you look at the upper part of this building, which you can clearly see does not have a wall covering that side, that is the wall that caved in on them when they were actually beneath this particular drainage system that had been created to take out some plywoods that actually supported the concrete, which happens to be the construction of a building that is ongoing around the Ofanko North area. Really unfortunate development happening here in Ofanko, and most of the residents were actually sad regarding this, incident that happened here. But then a member of the PR department from the Ghana National Fire Service, ADO1 Alex Kingnati, who was actually rushed into this particular premises after receiving a call from one of the residents here, has been speaking to me. And the exercise generally hasn't been an easy one, because as of the time they got here, the bodies were still stuck into the system. But then he's here to give me more insights as to what went into the exercise and how they were able to retrieve the body. So what exactly happened?
Okay, so thank you very much. When our men received a distress call about people trapped, quickly our team from Abelimpe were dispatched to the scene. Upon arrival, they realized that two people were trapped. And you realize that when people are trapped, it's a very sensitive and dicey situation. One person, we checked the pulse, had died. And then the other person was alive. The most important thing is to sustain life. So we had to concentrate our energy on the one who was alive. And in doing so, we had to be very careful not to pull him in an inappropriate way, because then it could affect his spine. So you could rather do more harm than good in trying to rescue him. So we worked strategically to dig around him to be able to safely bring him out and handed over to the ambulance service for treatment. Then after getting him out, we had to now concentrate on retrieving the dead person. And so we realized that his leg was also stuck under the wood. So you see the wood over there. His leg was stuck there. So we had to use the bulldozer to try and create a space to be able to bring him out. And it was confirmed that he was dead. So that's an unfortunate incident that happened. And as you can see, this, if you check from the wall there, it looks like they were trying to replicate something like that over here. So they had already put in the plywood, trying to create the concrete over there to create a retaining wall. Because as you can see, this is all earth. So they needed to create a retaining wall. But it's important to note that such actions or such construction is not appropriate during the rainy season. Because as you can clearly see, the water is still pulling the sand gradually in. So when it rains, and you can even see this other wall. Yeah. This wall has an evident crack in it. This one, so this is the starting of the wall that broke. So you can realize, you see that there were some blocks lying in there. Okay. So these walls, even they didn't have a structural integrity. So it caved in, and because they were already in the middle, it fell on them, trapped them, and they couldn't come out. Have you been able to identify the individuals and their ages? Well, from what we gathered, we've not gathered their name, but we know that their age is between the 46 and then about 40 years. About 46 and 40 years. Yes. We gathered one is called Bra Bedu, and the other one is called Mauli. Okay. So who died? The Mauli died. Okay. So Bra Bedu and Mauli, and unfortunately Mauli lost his life. But then an eyewitness who also placed a call to the Ghana National Fire Service, who is actually a resident here, Kojo Ahenkra, will also be giving me details. How did the information get to you before you had to call the Ghana National Fire Service to rush in here? Apparently, I live just 2 blocks away from this place. Okay. So I was in the room, because it's been raining since morning. Yeah. So I was in the room, and my mom just called me. Something had just happened. So I came out. So when I came out, there were a lot of people on site. Yeah. So I asked what is going on. They told me that 2 people are trapped down there. And I said, oh, what are we doing? Let's quickly call the fire service. So I quickly bring my phone out, call the fire service, give them the direction, and then they came in. Okay. How many hours did it take them to get here? In fact, they told me they were coming from New Plan. And I could say it took them about 25 minutes. They were here. That was swift. Yeah, very short. All right. Thank you very much. So you can rightly see from where I am standing. If you look deep through the sun, you can clearly tell that because it is the raining season, the sun looks moist. If you also look closely to where the fence caved in, just the one that is hanging around in there has huge visible cracks, and you can clearly tell that with just a small push or a heavy wind, it can easily collapse. And that is the rather unfortunate incident that has happened here at Ofankor North. My name is Godwin Asidiba, reporting for TV3 News.
Very unfortunate development there. Well, we're moving to the Ashanti region now, where the tussle between tricycle operators and city authorities in Kumasi has intensified. Some tricycle operators blocked roads to protest their ban from the Central Business District. Ibrahim Abubakar has more in the following report.
Is there too on the enforcement of the ban of tricycle taxis not to operate within the Central Business District of Kumasi? Today it turned chaotic here at the Swami roundabout KJTR stretch because the angry riders have also blocked the main road, saying they will not allow any motorists to have access to the CBD if they are also prevented from entering. The police had to intervene, convince them before finally they open up the road for vehicles to have access.
You say the area no is unlawful, but you say first akwaina ebia ye beti yanka ama mpefo no a omo osoro ate ye message a pese ye ka no wo be ba krom area 1 na tilela e pe kwan ya be park eyi nyoma It's Praia who causes that traffic. You want to get him to the draw. To the draw.
For now, they are demanding that city authorities issue some of them permits to operate within the CBD, even if not all of them.
You said some time ago you did similar to the short people, because you restrict some of them. You identify the union and registered ones, so you gave them sticker. So those without sticker, you don't allow them inside central business. So fine, do similar to us. If we are 3,000 in the central business, okay, let us know, okay, 3,000, you are many. We are giving sticker to 1,000 people. We will understand. So that at least you limit our movement, but not to ban us from the central business.
Well, it appears coming to agreement between the operators and city authorities will be a difficult task, because all of them have taken an entrenched stance. We will be monitoring this development and update you subsequently. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Let's go to the Election Command Center now, where President Akufo says it is a false and malicious narrative that he is using party machinery to support the candidature of Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ahead of the party's internal presidential elections. He again rubbished the claims that he is intimidating party members to back Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the internal flag-bearer contest. Speaking to party communicators at the Jubilee House, the president vehemently dismissed these claims, labeling them as baseless and a malicious narrative, adding that while he does have the right to cast his vote, he has not publicly endorsed any candidate.
The assertions, and it was made by your director, that by some in the party that government is somehow allegedly, quote, intimidating or, quote, coercing party faithful to throw their support behind one of the presidential aspirants. And we have to be open about it. The allegation is being made that the government is putting all its authority behind the vice president. I want to say in very clear terms to you and to the world, it is a false and malicious narrative. There's not a single truth to it. That's why I can beat my chest and I can say without any fear of contradiction, there's no one in the party, there is not a single person in the NPP who can say that I have asked him or her to support this or that aspirant. I've not done it, and I know why I haven't done it. I have not set out to dismiss any MMDC or any political appointee because they are supporting a particular aspirant. No minister, no deputy minister has been thrown out of his job or even been threatened because of their support for their preferred presidential aspirant. They're members of my cabinet who are openly campaigning for particular candidates who's not the vice president. It has not affected their presence in the cabinet. There's been no indication to them whatsoever that somehow or other I am disturbed by what they're doing. It's their right. They're party people. They can make whatever choice that they want, like all of you.
He admonished the rank and file of the party not to take a dig at government, but rather defend the record of the NPP instead of attacking it.
I don't see what we gain by attacking the record of our own government. When you do that and you become then party candidate, what are you going to tell the people of Ghana? Oh, it was Akufo who misled you and mismanaged affairs. I will be different, even though I am MPP. I'm still under the Osno sign. I'm different. And the people of Ghana will be that gullible. No. Let's be serious. So the question is, I think that if we're talking about the record of the government, my understanding is that every MPP person, communicator, or whoever you are, who you're a supporter of the party, it's your duty to try and defend that record and make sure that the people of Ghana buy into that record. Because at the end of the day, once this presidential primary is over, That is going to be the issue before the country.
Right. President Akufo there. Professor Smart Sarpong is a political science lecturer and researcher with the Kumasi Technical University. He's joined us via Zoom for a quick chat on this. Prof, good evening. Thank you for your time. And does the president's comment put the matter to rest, the perceived support that the establishment has for Dr. Bawumia?
Well, a very good evening to your good self and a good evening to our cherished viewers. If from today there is any aspirant who still move from one constituency to the other with the fear of the president's cover or intimidation or any means of that sort, that candidate should get a relief, should breathe a very relieved breath of sigh and just go ahead and do his work. All those fears for me has been laid to rest by the president's comment. There are people who still would try and use that. You know, it's a competition. So some people will use that one to put fear into others. These 10 gentlemen who are aspiring are supposed to be beyond some of these threats and this use of those things to scare them. And if they were scared because the president was silent on it, today the president had opened up. And you can see the boldness with which he declares his non-alignment. So aspirants, please go all out. The president doesn't cover anybody.
And on the back of that, there are those who actually were supporting Dr. Bawumia or could support Dr. Bawumia because they believe the establishment supports him. So with the president coming out boldly to say that I haven't publicly declared support for him, what does that say about those who are supporting the president because he supported Dr. Bawumia perceived?
Well, until elections are held, the minds of delegates will keep changing. And if you do political research and you follow the minds of voters, it keeps changing. That is why opinion polls increase in accuracy as the election day draws near. So people doing elections today people doing research today about 2024 may not be too accurate as compared to people who will be doing research as it draws closer, because the minds of in politics, a day can cause a lot of change. Comments from people like you are rightly referring to can cause some level of change. Actions and inactions of these aspirants will determine the position of the voter day by day until elections are held. These are one of the things that just may cause a change, else it may not cause any change. But I mean, the aspirants, each day is a very good day for them to campaign because the minds of the voter keeps changing until the election day.
Right. And then finally, we know also that, for instance, the president said that the candidates who are going around campaigning against the record of the government should desist from that. Why would he say that? Is that a free democracy? Everybody is free to express what they say, that although I am MPP currently, the government hasn't performed well for that reason. Give me the nod, and when I come, I'll change things. So the president said they shouldn't do that.
My brother, it's been long overdue. The government has looked on for quite too long because these people are not commenting as people who are not MPP people. They are still standing by the elephant. And so morally, they do not have any right to speak against the elephant they are standing by. In fact, they are who they are, partly because of the association with the elephant. And you and I can say we don't have a hand in government successes or failure. Some of these aspirants cannot say so with us. So they were part of all the successes and the failures we are all encountering. So the president has made a call. I earlier called on the party to also do a similar call and call these gentlemen to order.
Right.
You can use the same platform to project your government, because after this election, there is that bigger one they are all fighting to face. So they shouldn't waste the chances of the party in the general election just by they seeking to be flag bearers of. And I think it's a call in the right direction. That is political party for you.
Right.
If you are not part of it, you can say anything. But if you are part of it, you must do all things to promote the ideas.
The record. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Prof, thank you so much for your time as always, Professor Smart Sarpong, there on the President's comments regarding campaigning within the flag bearer contestants of the NPP.
Let's now go to Parliament. House has concluded contributions on the mid-year budget statement presented by the Finance Minister on Monday. The minority said the economic woes of the country would continue for over 5 years, but the majority side insists the economy is beginning to see recovery.
The man who says he won't go to the IMF now says we should give him credit that he has gone with speed and tact. Where is credibility? Where is principle? Elsewhere, ministers will resign when they make a promise, they make a pledge, and they can't keep it.
That set the tone for the conclusion on the commentary on a half-year budget. The first major financial intention of the government after going to the IMF, but with no additional funding demanded. Government brags that it has turned the corner, but concerns have emerged on government's wastage and over expenditure.
It turns out that Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, a fund that actually is part of which is being used to pay for the Terminal 3, which is generating revenue, somebody in this government have doled out $2 million of that money to a phantom company that doesn't exist, Mr. Speaker. We are urging the majority, look for whoever received that $2 million from Ghana Infrastructure Fund and return the money.
The 20 women from the minority side, none of them had an opportunity to comment on this statement. None of them.
Former Deputy Finance Minister and Minority Leader Dr. Kesela Tuforsen says the situation is dire.
We have not turned the corner. The performance of this economic management team, despite the hype over the past 7 years, has been beyond abysmal. With this mess created by this MPP administration, Ghana will require over 5 years of collective sacrifice and dedication to turn things around. Mr. Speaker, this government has rewritten Ghana's economic history, and a book on how not to manage an economy must be dedicated to the Akufo Bawumia government.
For Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, in his usual biblical note, Ghanaians must not despair.
There's a story in the Bible, 1 Kings 18:41. There had been drought in Israel for 3 years. And Elijah predicted that there will be abundant rain. There is a cloud as small as a man's hand rising out of the sea. Mr. Speaker, let us appreciate what is happening because abundant rain will come.
For the Speaker, Parliament must work together with the Finance Minister. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Parliament House, Accra.
And away from Parliament, sanitary pad is a necessity for women and girls. Despite their importance, many women and girls in rural areas in particular are still struggling to afford them due to the high costs partly attributed to luxury tax on the products. In Godwin Asidibe's latest documentary, My Period is Not a Shame, he tells the heartbreaking story of girls in Kukuku in the Techima North constituency using rags to conceal their period flow.
Using rags is what they are used to. Benedicta Boatima is one of the girls in the Kokoko Basic School, and I've been told she's not been able to come to school today because she's in her menstruation period. I've been trekking for God knows how many minutes, and I'm still trekking to meet her.
I'm sorry, I'm not my menses. Many pardons so mammy so niska. Hope it to be a mammy. See, me soon saguna me soon and so. Maybe me coast kuna metanasia. A bit to me for a French woman for the best stream. And it's your uncle.
Period poverty is a serious issue confronting girls and women in Kokoko, a village in the Techima North constituency.
My usual to my go 7 years. Me mom dem usual air and sagumaham. Me my used to no.
The inability to afford menstrual products here is causing girls to stay home from school, with long-term consequences on their educational performance.
The stories were different, and one of it has to do with they have to having a sexual relationship with guys to be able to solve that particular problem within that particular month.
You definitely need to make a date. It is at 9 p.m. today, so make a date. Let's catch that documentary. And like the Speaker of Parliament said, it is a cardinal sin that sanitary pads are still being taxed. You're still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We have business right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
There are some moments that last forever because they happen only once. Like your very first day, your first day of school, your first successful bike ride. What's your child's next milestone? Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is here to ensure they smile through it all. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture has been keeping children smiling for more than a decade by relieving them from gastric pain, flatulence, minor digestive upset, and teething discomfort. Now, Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Choose Sukasa for the highest quality, luxurious townhouses in East Lagoon Hills. 2, 3, and 4 bedroom in a gated community starting at $40,000 in Accra, Ghana. Sukasa, building on trust.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New Soft Care Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
Soft Care. Protect your leap.
Who no like chop money? They want chop money is here. Collect your chop money every morning at 10 a.m. by simply dialing *446# and select option 2 to play Day 539 chop money. Win 40 times your stake with Direct 2, 400 times your stake with Direct 3, and 20 times your stake with Direct 1. You can also pay your numbers to win big. You only pick your numbers from 1 to 39, so winning is easy. Dial *446# to play Day 539 chop money now. Dewa,
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
We
With Global, you order anything you want, and when you receive it, you celebrate it with your whole body. Because when that tasty grilled chicken is here, the weekend starts. The ingredients for your favorite recipe just in time. And when the cake arrives, the party is on. Because receiving anything on Global deserves a dance. Download the app, order anything you want, and track it minute by minute until it arrives. Global. Order anything, we deliver in minutes.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
And Michael is here to give us the latest updates in the world of business and finance. First with the Bank of Ghana, right?
Exactly. You know, it was impacted by the domestic debt exchange program. So
they say.
So the central bank has been making comments on what they plan to do moving forward.
Okay, give us the details.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Welcome to the business segment here on News 360. My name is Michael Obodu. Now, the Bank of Ghana is looking forward to seek recapitalization from the government. This follows losses incurred by the bank in its annual report following the domestic debt exchange program. Director of Research Philip Abredu Otu says the move can only take effect after a successful IMF program.
Cast your mind back to 25th of July when the Bank of England talked about the fact that it had made losses on its books to the tune of £150 billion. Then the Bank of England immediately says that government, we've made these losses. We need to get this money from government immediately, else going forward our operations are going to be impaired. So almighty BOG has made losses from its quantitative easing program. So their losses are also coming from interest rate variations. So at the beginning of the discussions with the IMF, the issue of recap came in, and we said that, look, we are under a program, let us walk through this program, and then we can begin to talk about issues of recapitalization after the program. The program ends in 3 years' time. The Director of Finance is saying that at the 5th year to 7th year, the issue of recapitalization won't be very high on the government's agenda. So these are things will be high on government's agenda.
Meanwhile, banking consultant Dr. Kojo Abuaje-Deborah is cautioning the central bank to focus on its mandate of price and financial stability. He was reacting to the bank's recapitalization plans with government in 2027.
Do we have price stability? The answer is no. Secondly, looking at the emerging issues within the financial sector, do we have stability? It's a relative issue. And I want to plead with them that, look, don't let us compare ourselves to Central Bank of England. It will be a suicidal thing for them, because if we subject them to these two criteria, it may be problematic. And I want to plead that, look, they need to reverse, and let us continue to support them in terms of the sympathy we are giving because of the difficulties they are going through. But if they're trying to explain, would they have their own right to communicate to us, to explain why things have gone that way?
GCB Bank PLC has launched its 70th anniversary with a commitment towards innovation and keeping pace with modern technological advancement in banking.
GCB Bank, the longest existing indigenous bank, was established to financially liberate Ghanaians and businesses.
GCB Bank was born as a Ghanaian bank for the people and led by Ghanaians with a single-minded purpose to economically and financially liberate Ghanaians and individual business. In the last 7 decades, GCB has done just that in promoting Ghanaian state institutions, industries, and the private sector, from the cocoa industry to the oil and gas. And GCB has shown great character and resilience.
Through its corporate social responsibility, the bank empowers communities by providing access to financial services, supporting education and healthcare programs.
At GCB, our commitment extends beyond financial excellence.
We recognize our immense responsibility to the broader community and the positive impact we create for our environment. Through our ESG framework and policies that incorporates the BOG guidelines on sustainable banking principles and recognizes collaboration with government, businesses, and all other stakeholders, we shall pursue our shared goals of creating a greener world.
The anniversary is on the theme 70 years of providing unrivaled solution towards the socio-economic development of Ghana, with a celebration to run throughout the year.
Against the backdrop of local and global economic downturn, MTN Ghana has recorded a profit after tax of about 1.7 billion Ghana cedis in the first 6 months of 2023. This is up from about 1.3 billion Ghana cedis in the same period last year.
MTN Ghana reported a year-on-year revenue increase of 32.4%. The strong revenue growth was underpinned by commercial and operational excellence. The telecommunication company also contributed 3 billion cedis to Ghana's GDP through taxes. The Chief Executive Officer of MTN Ghana, Selom Adadivo, said the company lost about 5 million subscribers to the recent SIM re-registration exercise.
Of SIM re-registration, we've had various directives at different points through 2022. The most significant ones, first of which happened in November last year, where we were asked to bar certain customer categories, and that exercise was executed to the level of compliance that was required by us. In May this year, we barred and disconnected 4 million customers, of which we've only gotten back about 0.4, so that leaves a good 4.9 to 5 million. The decimal place approximation is the number at the end of June. We continue to put in the right efforts so we can bring back customers who have disconnected, ensure that we guide them on how to re-register and restore their connectivity, and this exercise will continue for the next 7 months.
MTN Ghana is a leading mobile telecommunication operator in Ghana with over 27 million subscribers.
Well, that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe. Up next is sports.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters.
New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
Many people think I get whatever I want because I'm a popular actress. But no, that is not true. Me Ankasano, Adebia mi yebiano, me shishimpe papano. And when I find it, I stick to it. My shishimenya Bell Pack tissues. Bell Pack ewe tea roll. Bell Pack tea roll. Soft, but not weak. Strong, but not hard. It is smooth. Me yusua, me hot tummy. It's just perfect. Same as the kitchen towel. What about what? What me the papaye? What me soaky? Echimu esa pepper. One Bell Pack kitchen towel lasts longer and saves you money. It's time you switch to Bell Pack today. Say your pocket tissue, table napkin, tea roll, and a kitchen towel. Bell Pack is simply the best. It's just perfect.
Nothing feels so good like
feels good to football with GoTV.
Works the space well and scores a
Nobody but GoTV gives you all games of La Liga and Serie A, the Premier League and UEFA games that matter, and the world's favorite cup competitions. Get GoTV Super for only 249 cedis to enjoy the football overload. GoTV, love it.
Every child is so unique.
You like no other.
Outstanding in every way.
It's me like no other.
So anytime you walk and play,
you like no other.
You are special like Indomie.
It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other. I can sing. I can dance. You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. It's you like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie. Thank you, Mommy.
Introducing Indomie Beef Flavor. Buy now.
This effort is FDA approved.